of a launch training. Without further ado, your Emerald, Mr. Dan Burks. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
You're loud and clear. Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, sir. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. So I asked to have some of you guys invited on today's call because I want to talk about launching. I'm going to leave a lot of the details of the launch to Mr. DeAndrea's training at the regional. I'm not going to get into details of it, but I wanted to really get behind the mindset of what it takes to create momentum. And what made me think of this is literally, you know how on Facebook you have Time Hop that reminds you of posts that you made in the past. And so for those who didn't know, I joined the business February 5th of 2016. And so as of right now, my Time Hop is bringing back memories from 2016 of my first and second month. And literally every single day is popping up a J notification, a fast start notification of somebody that I helped get a fast start bonus or a J bonus within their first couple days. It's like, because I was posting them on my personal page to create the momentum. And literally, when I look back and think about how I was able to hit Emerald as quickly as I did, it was simply because I had a pretty close, probably 3 out of 4, maybe 3 out of 5 people within their first 72 hours hit Jade. Like it was just automatic Jade. Within the first 3 days, Jade. And what we've kind of gotten away from is the speed factor. This business is unlike regular traditional businesses. A lot of times in traditional business, things are a little bit more drawn out. Things are a little bit more at a lengthier time frame of how things happen. In this business, it's all about momentum. It is 110% about momentum, speed, and stories. And for instance, when I first started, I came in hard. I hit Sapphire in 21 days. I got my car bonus, but I also helped a bunch of people hit Jade, which put 70 people in a room at Players Club in Players Restaurant, little conference area in Rockland, where Mr. Rob Pagnato came to. And because Mr. Rob Pagnato came to an event that had 70 people in it and a brand new car out front, he signed up in the business. Because he signed up in the business, it led to half the people on this call right now through Mr. Mike DeAndrea and Mr. Leslie Grignafini. Half you guys would not be on this call right now if I had not put 70 people in that room in the first month of being in business. It was creating that room, because if Rob had showed up to a coffee shop with only 3 people, or if there was only a phone call, if there wasn't an event for him to come show up to see people that have already been promoted, already made their bonuses, and already had a car on the road, another one that was well on their way to having the car. If that success and those stories weren't there, you guys would not be here. We have to remember the fact that speed is everything. This business is like pushing a boulder up the hill. If you go slow or, God forbid, stop, that boulder is going to come and smash you right back down, and it's going to take you forever to get going. And so what that brings me to is how we go about launching a new partner. The first 72 hours of your partner's business, and this is why I specifically asked for you guys to be invited on this call, because you guys are going to be the ones that help us launch new partners. That 72 hours in your business, that first 72 hours there in your business, is the most important part of their business. It's the most important time, hands down, of their business. Now, the key is they don't know that yet. They have no idea or cannot grasp the concept of how important their speed story is. We do. We know that. And so it's our responsibility to set up the right parameter when we get a new business partner started. Now, how I want to go about doing things, now everybody might have a little different spin on this, but personally, when I personally sponsor someone, because I plan on personally sponsoring another person this week, my goal is to, when they sign up, say, listen, this is how it's going to go down. The first 3 days are going to be really busy for you. We're going to launch your business correctly. We're going to make sure that the first 3 days of your business is going to set up and dictate the rest of your business. We are going to help you launch with 3 additional locations besides your own store. So we're already have in mind that that first day you sign up, our goal is to help you launch your business with 3 additional locations. So you're going to find 3 people to partner up with within your first 3 days. And from there, we build. From there, we start building the customer base and the residual income from it. But having the mindset of within the first 3 days, we're going to find 3 partners. So how to do that? Reverse engineer. What I'm going to do is I plan on signing somebody up on Tuesday. I have a person that's coming to see me on Tuesday. I'm going to say, I need a list of 30 names that you would potentially want to start this business with. 30 names. Out of those 30 names, we're going to show them the information. We're going to show them whatever information you want to show them. I'm personally going to have him show my peak video, my video that's going over what we've done so far with this business and where our plan is for the next year, because it's all about timing. It's about painting the picture. So I'm going to say to this gentleman, say, hey, 30 people I want you to get this information in front of. Out of those 30 people, our goal is to have 10 of them get past that information and get on the phone call with me, or get on the phone call with your upline. In this situation, I'm using me. Out of that 10 people, we should close 3. Out of 10 people, we should definitely close 3. That's 3 business partners that we just helped that person get in their first 72 hours. Now, that's not 1 promotion, that's 2 promotions. They jump on it, they go right to Jade, and they have a fast start bonus. And they're halfway done with their power play in their first 3 days. That is what is going to help set up your story and their story, because it's not only just their story, it's your story. It's the fact that you were able to help someone hit their fast start in their first 3 days. That's power when it comes to recruiting as a leader, is it not? If I can tell people like, hey, 3 out of 4 people that get started with me, I help them hit their fast start bonus within their first 3 days. That's power. People want speed. People want something that can happen quickly. Now imagine if that duplicates. Imagine if I sign this gentleman up on Tuesday. I get 30 people the information, 10 people get on the call with me. Out of the 10, we sign up 3, boom, he's Jade. Now we do that with his 3 people. We do the same thing. As those 3 people come in, I say, listen, this is how it's going to work. The first 3 days of your business is extremely important. You're going to watch this Road to Jade video and do the quick the modules in your back of your app. And then we're going to get 30 people, a list of 30 people together to find out who your 3 partners are going to be. And then I help those 3 people do the same thing, go Jade in the first 72 hours. Now we're a week into the process of the first initial rep, and we just helped 3 Jades underneath him go Jade. That's helping him go Pearl. Now imagine creating a week Pearl, a 1 week Pearl. What a 1 week Pearl sets up is a 2-3 week Sapphire. That's how someone goes Sapphire in 18 days. Now, what do you think is going to be a more powerful story for that person to finish the rest of to build the rest of their business? Hey, I came in and focused on my first 3 days, and my mentor helped me be able to hit a rank of Sapphire in 20 days versus I came in and I hit Sapphire in a year. What do you think is going to be more leverage for them to be able to build quick? Everybody looks at me and says, hey, what the situation with Utah, what's happening in Utah, what happened in Dallas, what happened in Chicago? It's all stories. It's all creating that fast success. Now, on top of that, it's not even just about the fact of having someone create a good story. It also goes the complete opposite way, because a lot of us have heard about the 25% rule. Every day that a person in this business, a rep, is not, I would even say as far as not accomplishing some kind of progress, they lose 25% motivation about the business. 4 days go by, they're out of the business. So if you sign up a new rep and you don't launch them for 2 days, they're already 50% mentally out of the business. 3 days, they're 75% out. 4 days, they're 100% out of the business. The motivation lasts 24 hours, and it can drastically drain out of people, because what happens when someone signs up in the business? They're immediately going to start talking to their friends and family. Their friends and family, we know, are going to start throwing negative thoughts at them. If we're not battling those negative thoughts with progress, then those negative thoughts are going to consume them. Does that make sense to everybody? If we're not, if their sister, if their husband, if their father or mother is saying, hey, that's not going to work, but we help them get their first business partner in their first 24 hours, we help them get 3 business partners and hit their fast start bonus in 72 hours. That gives them the ability to say, no, mom, no wife, no sister, brother, it does work. What? Look, it's working. If we're not trying to focus and push on that 72-hour window for a story, then the other people that it's throwing negatives at them it's gonna consume them, and they're gonna be out of the business. I promise you that. And so we need to get a lot better with going for speed, especially right now, because we have something huge coming in May. May is going to be the biggest explosion of business that we've had ever in this business. Now, this isn't the first time I've seen a huge event happen in Kiani. What happened before is people go to this event, get super excited, come back, and work super hard. What really creates momentum is someone that works super hard right now, getting excited for that event, builds up into that event, ends up going to that event with 20 people from their team. Now they have 20 people that get excited from that event and come back and work super hard. It's about building into the event, not waiting for the event to happen. It's great. I'm happy that everybody on this call has our Utah ticket. It's not about our Utah ticket. It's about how many people on our team can we bring with us to Utah to also get that excitement, also get that value, and also come back in May and be fired up and blow this business up. Because I promise you, anybody that's been to a conference before, the same thought goes through all of our heads. Damn it, I wish I had more people on my team here. Because we know what these events do to people. A lot of us have been to these events before, especially at the rate that this event, at the capacity that this event is being held. So we have to create urgency, and it's starting right now. It goes back to creating bold statements. Something as simple as when I first started the business, I looked at everybody in the face before I knew what the comp plan was, before I knew what any of the terminology or anything about the business. I literally said the same thing to every single one of my prospects. And this is what I have my people that I launch say to their friends and family. Listen, I can't explain all the details. I don't even care if this is something of interest to you or not, but I promise you that you're going to regret it for the rest of your life once you see what I do with this, if you don't at least take a serious look at this right now. And I have them say that with this bold attitude where it gets the person go, wow, at least I got to listen right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. What happens if you show a prospect this business and you say, oh, okay, I'll show it to you 2 weeks from now. You're telling that person that it's not of value to look at quickly, that there is no time urgency whatsoever. When you're creating that no time urgency whatsoever, what you're already doing is you're making your job harder when you do sit down with them. When you create that urgency for time, because we understand when we look at all these other markets that have exploded, we understand that speed and a massive condensed amount of exposures in a condensed amount of time is what creates momentum. We need to create that momentum to create the stories, to create the paychecks. It doesn't happen. You don't hit diamond by getting a customer each month for 72 years. You hit diamond or hit emerald or hit ruby or hit sapphire by creating momentum. Momentum comes from urgency. We have to be the ones that create that urgency, and we have, as leaders, have to do it. When I launch my new partner, when I sign them up, I'm not counting on them to go message those 30 people. I'm saying, when can we either get on a Zoom or when can we get down in person, tonight or tomorrow? Is it better for you tonight or tomorrow to sit down with me, either through Zoom if they're not in the state, or in person? And I am going to go one by one through those 30 people and help them message them. Who's this? Your friend Tom and Tony? Tell me about Tony. Okay, this is what we're going to say to Tony. And I'm going to personally message everybody. The major mistake that I made in the beginning is I signed up, I think, 20 personal sponsors in my first 30 days. And I thought that everybody was going to do what I did. They're not. I promise you, most people, if you leave it up to them to message their 30 people, they might message 4. They might message 4 people. They're not going to go through that whole list, and they're certainly not going to do it with the same energy, excitement, and time frame as if you're there. You have to do it with them. You have to do it with them. And so me personally, I use the Road to Jade video. Each leader might have a different video, but I want the one requirement before I sit down with somebody isn't even necessarily the modules. My only requirement is watching the Road to Jade, because what that does is it explains the Facebook groups, it explains the three-way call process, it explains edification. Those are the three major things that I need someone to understand before I get into their contacts. Because if someone doesn't know or understand the idea of edification, they're not going to be able to edify me. If they don't understand the concept of three-way calls, they're either going to be afraid of it, or they're just not going to take it seriously. So that's the major video that I want them to see before I sit down with them. But that's all going to be within the first 24 hours, when they first sign up. It's going to be a seamless process of, okay, awesome, you just saw the business, you ready to get started? Fantastic. What package you're going to pick? Premium pack? Awesome. We're going to go with the premium pack. This is how the next 3 days looks. I understand you might have things coming up, but I have to let you know, as your sponsor in this business, I have to let you know the importance of your first 3 days. It is extremely crucial that we do things right the first 3 days. If Sony was launching PlayStation and they launched PlayStation and they did it half-assed for the first 3 days, they wouldn't do that. Any company that launches anything is going to make sure that that initial launch in the first 3 days of that campaign is going to be the most important part of that entire campaign. Because if they botch the beginning of it, the rest of it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Is everybody tracking with what I'm saying? So this is where it's so crucial to get people to understand that we need to create those stories. And those stories are going to be created from May. Those stories will be created from May, whether by you or by someone beside you or by someone above you or by someone below you. I highly suggest that everybody on this call, because all of you guys are either Sapphires and above or were handpicked to be on this call. And if you were handpicked to be on this call, I would take this even more seriously, because that means that one of us saw something in you to say, hey, I want you to be a part of what we do to launch the rest of this market. We are just getting started here, but that's not to say we're the only ones here. There's going to be other people that are going to try to get the Northeast. You think that the other partners in Kyani from other parts of the country don't want a piece of the Northeast? Just like we want a piece of California, we want a piece of Florida, we want a piece of Texas. They want a piece of the Northeast. They're going to come and get it if we don't get it first. And so without everything, while everybody else is going on Facebook. Also, the one last thing I want to talk about is don't be afraid to make good posts. And when I mean good, make sure you pass it by your upline to see if it's a good post about success stories. So many other companies talk every day posting about, please join my team, please buy my product. You know what I want everybody to see on my page is every day me posting about me helping somebody. Me helping someone hit their fast start bonus. Me helping someone hit a specific rank. Now, I don't use the rank name because it doesn't mean anything to the public. I make sure I word it in such a way that it's not going to come off as a ploy to try to get somebody to join the business. What I want it to do is just to give recognition to that person and show people that I'm helping other people win. So don't be afraid to, if somebody ends up winning around you in your business, in the side of your business, if they end up getting a fast start bonus, don't be afraid to make a post. Again, pass it by your upline to make sure that they say, hey, it's good to go or it's not good to go. But make a post saying, hey, like I'm so proud of Miss Virginia being able to hit her fast start bonus and jump 2 promotions in a brand new company in the first couple weeks. Don't say a name of the company. Don't say a name or a rank. You don't even have to say an income claim. What you're doing is showing people success. And literally, people are watching. Facebook is our commercial, and we can either put out trashy ads like other companies do, buy my product, join my team. We can put out no ads, out of sight, out of mind. Remember, out of sight, out of mind. Not saying anything is just as bad as saying the wrong thing, because nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what you're doing. But if you're strategically posting about success, That's going to get in the back of someone's head. And I promise you, the day that they look at their bank account, the day that their boss yells at them too much, one too many times, they're going to be like, I remember Nancy Diaz. She's always posting about helping people online. You know what? Today I'm going to message her. Out of sight, out of mind. If it's not in front of someone, they're not going to message you. Nobody's even going to know what you do. And then when you do inbox them out of the blue, it's going to look creepy. But if you're constantly posting about you being able to help people, because remember, our goal is to help everybody hit their fast start bonus in their first 72 hours. If you then reach out to somebody, they're going to be a lot more willing to listen because they've just watched you help all these other people. And even if it wasn't you specifically helping them, they see a connection between what you're doing and people being helped. Does that make sense to everybody? So it's not to splurge and blast Facebook. It definitely check, especially if you're less than a sapphire on this call, definitely check what you're sapphiring above to say, hey, is this terminology good or not? Just so we can kind of look over it because it's your app. That's the commercial that we're putting out. We're a marketing company. We're a marketing company. We're not just a messaging company. We're a marketing company. And we have to think all encompass of a marketing company. What marketing strategies do we want to use as a marketing company? Out of sight, out of mind, and just private DMs is not marketing. That's just headhunting. We want to do both. We want to be a sniper in the inbox, but also we want to make our life easier and create a narrative from using our social media to create that narrative of success, create that narrative of helping people. Make sense? I love the cat that's just walking over the phone. I don't know whose phone that is, but that's awesome. So while everybody else is blowing up, begging for people for business, begging for customers, let's just blow up Facebook with success. We have so many people popping ranks that nobody can even talk any kind of shiz about anything because we're just winning too much. And it starts today. It starts with what we do right now moving forward, because if you don't stop building right now, like I said before, that wave of momentum is going to come right over you. Stories are everything. The launch is important. Mr. DeAndrea is going to go into more of the details of what to send out to people in the more detailed part of the launch. But have it in your mind. You can copy exactly what I'm going to do. 30 people. Hey, we're going to launch your business. 3 new partners. We're going to have 3 partners that we're going to launch your business with simultaneously. That's, again, what that also does is eliminates a lot of people's friends have that, oh, I want to see how you do before I do it. No, we're doing this simultaneously. We're launching this business with 3 locations simultaneously. We're going to do that. 30 people we're going to show the business to. 10 people we're going to get on a call. 3 people we're going to sign up. And then we're going to duplicate that process. And we're going to set up the parameter of 72 hours and go back to creating these stories. Go back to being able to back up all the income claims that you see all around the place because we have so much momentum. There's so much momentum going into it. You can't lose. Once you get that snowball effect going, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It just blows up. And what Miss Jules Marquezio was saying, those Tuesday night meetings, we need to get that Tuesday night meeting up to 100 people, to 150 people, to 200 people. It comes down to the people on this call taking it seriously to having that as a requirement when someone joins the business. Hey, you're launching an online business. Yes, we're going to do a lot of stuff online. One of the requirements is we have a meetup on Tuesday nights for a couple hours. That's one of the requirements of working with us. Not everybody's going to be down for it. Not everybody might show up. But if you make that as an important part of someone's business, because it is, like I said, half you guys won't be on that call if I didn't put 70 people in the room and play-ers. That room means something. Some of you guys remember us at the Marriott before we moved things more online with 200, 250 people. Our Millionaire Maker event, we had 300 people in the room. That does something. And we need to do that. We need to duplicate that right now, moving into May. So everyone on this call goes down to Utah with a bunch of people on your team and can come back from that event and have the biggest burst of momentum that you've ever seen in your life. It can happen. It will happen for the people that take it seriously. Not everybody's going to take my word seriously. Not everybody's going to say, you know what, I'm all in. If there was ever a time to go all in, it would be right now. I promise you that. because you're going to watch other people do it. Regret is a funny thing. When you look back and you're like, oh man, there's so many times in the gym that I'm pushing myself and I'm pushing myself. And when I'm by myself, it's easy to get to 9 reps and, I'll just re-rack it. Like there's nobody there holding me accountable. But never once have I pushed and went that 1 more rep, that 2 more reps, and then regretted it. Never. But there's been many times that I left the gym early, or I stopped my set early and kind of gave up on myself early, and I regretted the hell out of it. Because deep down inside, I knew I had more in me. I promise you, if this blows up without you, you're going to know deep down inside that you had more in you, that you didn't leave out on the table. This is the time to leave everything out on the table. So that's all I really wanted to cover today. Speed.
That's what I was going to ask about. If we already feel like maybe we're behind the 8 ball, I have 4 people that I'm like really trying to get their 30 names, and it's like pulling teeth. So I'm just wondering what the best way to get them to see the urgency, I guess. I know the urgency. I just want them to see the urgency of it.
So I'm glad you asked that question, because there's going to be some people you sign up in the business that no matter what you do, you're not going to get them to have the urgency. The only thing you can do in that situation is sponsor somebody else and find the person with the urgency and run with them and let them see what you're doing. And then eventually they'll be like, oh, that's why they wanted me to do urgency. Because you can't force anybody to do anything. This is a volunteer army. By no means of the imagination can you brute force anybody to have the urgency. You need to lead by example and show the results, because the best way to get people to listen to what you say is just by proving that what you say works. If anybody is fighting you on their contact list, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Say, hey, listen, this is really important to do this. If you don't want to take advantage of it this quickly and don't want to have the urgency, that's fine. But I'm telling you, you're going to regret that later on down the line. And while they're taking their time, go find somebody else, sponsor them, and then run with them. And then when they see you help them go 30-day Sapphire or a 20-day Sapphire, they'll be like, oh, now they're going to listen to you. So let your production be your edification.
Thank you.